Hello, and welcome to the official episode 1 of Retro World Order. This is Captain Mike from On Second Thought with the Mike and Matt podcast, joined by Los from the Talking Place, and we're here to kick off the another journey into talking about retro games and specifically retro handhelds. This is an exciting time for Los as he just acquired the AYN Thor, which he has been waiting for very patiently, I might add. And Los, we look forward to hearing all about it now that you've not only set it up, I imagine, but you've also, shall we say, bedazzled it, or however you want to say. I guess before we talk about the Thor, I am very curious when you customize anything. Is this a trend throughout your life? And what I mean by that, not just gaming. Like, do you have like your car, like a specific wrap around the steering wheel and certain like cushions on the seats, or do you just specifically customize your handhelds, whether they're the Steam Deck or the Switch or this Thor that we're going to talk about?
It is mostly gaming stuff. When it comes to more real world things, that where like you said, cars and stuff like that, it's harder to do because one is not just me. It's it's like I could go bedazzling whatever out there, but like that's stuff that my family is also taking part in and all that. So it's like it's I have to be mindful of what exposure I put out there. So when it's more my stuff, I like to customize my things, and I like to do things. And it's like it dates back for a while. I think it was the 3DS. Maybe it was the 3DS that where it started for me. Mm-hmm. Like I was always trying to do some sort of different thing to it to make it more customizable for myself, and it's cool. The new 3DS came out with the faceplates. Forget about it. I was a kid in a candy store. I have a drawer here where I have at least a dozen different faceplates for the 3DS, and I love it.
And is that because life can come at you quick and you can get hit with what I call the laziness. Oh, I just don't want to do anything today. And if you customize whether it's the 3DS or whatever, and you look at it lovingly across the way, and look how beautiful that looks. Look how enticing that looks. I need to go over there and get my hands on it. Is that part of of why you dress them up, or is it just you just like it just feels more complete and more immersive?
Both. I mean, it is totally a vibe thing. Like it's something that I feel like exactly like you said, like it satisfies the visual aspect of it. It makes it look like man, this looks like a really cool handheld that is mine. Like, it's my flavor to it, and it makes me more like, incentive to like pick it up and to like hold it and to do whatever and play with it and do things like that. So, So it's like, I like the aspect of having something that is more personalized to me. It's like, I have, maybe people know here, but I have a sticker shop on Etsy. So it's like, stickers are my thing. It's basically what it is. Like everything that I do for like bedazzling my handhelds and stuff like that is essentially putting stickers on a laptop, or like decorating something of your own personal flavor. So it's like it's embedded in me. Like I cannot help it.
Let's talk about the stickers real quick, because I am adverse to putting stickers on anything because of the stickiness afterwards. If I am a potential customer of yours and I am wanting to go acquire said stickers, and I want to buy a slew of these because I like to change up my look and feel based on, let's say, the seasons. As the seller, what is is it just rip it off and put a new one on? Is there a clean? Does it? I guess the short question I want to ask is: do these stickers these days not leave much residue? Like I'm thinking of back in like the 80s or 90s, you'd buy something like, secondhand store, like a CD, and someone's like slapping like, yeah, this is $5. It's like, great, that's $5, but now I got to spend an hour getting all this, gunk off that you put on my, case. Has there been advances in technology in that area since the dawn of time?
There are different stickers, like different adhesives, there's no set level, like there's some stuff that it's like this is a level 2 stickiness, like there's nothing like that. But there's certain brands that'll be better, more permanent, you would say, or more easier to take off. You learn that as you go, so when you're going to go sell something, if you go buy something on Etsy, you go to buy a sticker, it'll probably say in the description, this removes easily, or you could take it off easily,
Yeah.
And there's some, maybe they won't specify, maybe they'll be more harder to take off, like I actually just got a review from someone that they said that they loved the sticker, but it was hard to take off. Like it was not easy to remove for whatever reason they removed it. I guess they were changing stuff out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's like it's a matter of what you want, because a lot of people, they decorate their water bottles, and stuff like that. Like there's people that they've bought from me that say, oh, I put it on my car. Like people put stickers on their car, like the outside of their car.
No,
so it's like
people.
People do a lot of different things with decorating stickers and stuff like that. So it's like people would want that stickiness. They want it to stick there. Like they put their water bottles in the dishwasher and they hope that it stays there, So it's like, it's a different thing. Like for me, I'm like you. Like it sounds like I'm like you. Like I cannot commit to being a permanent thing. Like
that's what I want to ask. That's what I want to specifically ask you. Is like, you're right. You got a set of stickers that you want to put on said device, and you're happy with the. Are you mapping this out ahead of time? Because this is my biggest thing. Whether anything's sticky, whether we're talking like a screen shield, or any sort of we all have kids. We've all bought them plastic things that come with like, decals to like put like, flashing, the windshields on the plastic things, said device. And, one false step and you got like the windshield on the tires instead of the windshield. Like, are you mapping this out ahead of time? And then once you get them on there, is it like a month and going, geez, this is really boring now and now I got to swap them out? Or how long do you usually last with these stickers on there?
See, the way I plan ahead is I get some sort of case and I put the stickers on the case. So like my devices, whatever I have, like my Thor right now or my laptop, like I never put a sticker on the actual device. I always put it on whatever, $15-$20 shell that I put on there. So that way, if I do get tired of it, if I go to take off the sticker, if it's hard to take off, it doesn't matter. Like I'll just scratch it off because it's the case, it doesn't,
Gotcha.
It's not going to mess up the device. So now, it's like, there's that level of it. Now
you're on the Reddits like me. And so you've seen people do the opposite of that, right? They go right, they stick it right on the device. Yes. We've seen that.
Yep.
I'm not making that up. That is a level of commitment. And also they have the stickers. I don't know why I didn't think these things would still exist, but I just thought they were something from my youth. Those puffy stickers, like those. Remember those puff? Those.
Yep.
I see a lot of those coming back. People have the puffy stickers, and then the other thing I just from a I think aesthetically it's pleasing, but I just think from a practicality point of like holding the thing in your hand. What is this thing that we are putting on there? It's almost like a trinket.
Okay.
What are those called? What's the official term for those? Do you have an Etsy store for them, and do you have one attached to your Thor? That's three questions.
So those have been around since the 3DS days. People have been dangling all sorts of things off their 3DS. It's I think the official term is a phone it's something for a phone. It's not for it's made specifically for phones it's just like a little decoration that hangs off of like some people they actually plug it into their phone port. That's how it stays there.
Is charm is charm the word?
Charm, there you go. Charm is the word. That's the word. So it's a phone charm. And it's a little tassel thing. Mm-hmm. So the Thor has two different on the bottom corners. They have two different spots where you could put a charm, and people do that. That when you go to buy the Thor from AYN, they have like other accessories that you could add to the cart with it, and one of them is a like AYN branded charm. Basically, it's a strap. So that's it. It's the same exact thing. Like you hook it up to the little charm slot thing that you could thread it through there, and it's a strap for the Thor. I got that because it was $3, and it looked like leathery. It looked manly, basically. So it was like it wasn't dangly and jewelry looking like it typically is. So it's like it reminded me of the strap on Mjolnir. Thor's hammer. So I went with it, and it was a cool little thing. I took it off because I've been taking my TPU case on and off a lot for the skin measurements and stuff like that. So it's like it's a thing people do. I may or may not have thought about seeking out some sort of Mjolnir type charm to go on my Thor because it fits the theme. But I'm not committing yet. I don't know, because this is the whole charm thing is new to me. Stickers all day, been there for a while, but the charm thing is new to me.
Okay, well, I guess one last question before we actually get to the device, and that's maybe more curious to people.
I love this. Yeah.
I have the TPU shell.
Okay.
I like that. If I was interested in acquiring some of your stickers, will they adhere to the shell? Do you recommend that as a good surface?
A sticker will adhere to the shell perfectly. I mean, it's like it'll be the way to do it. It's funny. I feel like this is a setup. I mean, I'm gonna take the bait here, but I am currently selling skins for the Thor. Mm-hmm. So my skins, they are not stickers. So they're made specifically to go underneath the TPU shell. So you could interchange them the way you could interchange the 3DS faceplates. So basically like you on a whim you feel like you want to have a different one, you just take the TPU shell off and you change the thing. So it's like it's like a heavier cardstock kind of paper that it has a laminate on it so it doesn't get messed up, and it's like it fits on there, and you just go about your day. You change out as you would like to change it out. You don't have to deal with peeling it off and unsticking and everything, and because it's under the TPU shell, doesn't get messed up, doesn't get dirty or peeling on the corners or anything like that. But there's plenty of other skins on Etsy that people who have a lot of detailed, cool looking kind of like stickers, decals actually, that go directly on the Thor. So it's like if you're in the Thor market, like what you're doing with, you've been on Etsy and you've seen stuff, so you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I guess I lied. One last question. as our mentor Russ from Retro Game Corps says, there is a cottage industry on Etsy really for anything and everything you can imagine. But specifically for the Thor, there is so much stuff. How does one stand out in the crowd? Is it based on sales and that bumps you up to like the top searches? Like, how are people finding you? It's like a needle in a haystack. There's just, if I just type in AYN Thor on Etsy, there's just pages and pages of stuff. How are people finding you specifically? Like, is it just them clicking through? Or is there like an SEO component to this?
So it's like it's hard to say because sometimes it's somebody will get on Etsy and they'll start selling something, and depending on what it is, they'll blow up, and people will go crazy. Like when the Thor first came out, I'm sure there was a crazy influx of people trying to look for the Thor. So it's like that became an overnight kind of success for whatever you were selling for the Thor. For as far as I go, I started with stickers and bookmarks. So it's like when I started doing that, for 2 years, 2.5 years, I did not do crazy stuff, like crazy sales. I would sell like to specific people, like specific circles of mine for books and stuff like that. And I was fine with what I was getting, but it's you when you hit a niche, when you hit something that is specific. Like I started selling stuff geared towards Dungeon Crawler Carl, and that together with the popularity of that book, like it took off like crazy. And it's like you got to find the certain thing that taps into the vein of what's pumping right now. So you could become overnight success, or it's a gradual build. Like I've been doing Etsy for 3 years, and it's just fairly recently that I started to become some sort of busy. I got stuff to do now. Let me get to work on my orders. Like it's good now. I'm happy with what I'm doing now. As far as business goes, there's people that are insane right now with work, with what they're doing on Etsy, and in particular with the Thor. Like I know that there's one guy who he is doing really good with stuff. So it's good. It's a good market to be in. If you know what you're doing, you know what you want to put out there. If it's good, you get good reviews and all that stuff. It's a good side hustle to get.
Yeah. Well, thank you for the insight. I think we need to get into discussing what the hell the AYN Thor is. People saying you're talking about stickers and bedazzling and TPU shells. What type of device am I buying here? What am I getting myself into? And I think the AYN Thor, at least the way I would describe it, is like it's like the new 3DS XL that can play a lot of other systems. So it's a clamshell device, 2 screens, flips open. It's got an AM OLED screen on the top. Is the bottom one OLED too? I can't remember.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
So pick it up from there. You probably have more intelligent thoughts than I do on that. But essentially, I look at it as a new and improved 3DS XL, and take it from there.
That is exactly what it is. I mean, it is what everything that you would want a successor for the 3DS to be like in today's modern technology. Like I think if Nintendo was still making 3DSs and they were still going with the times, I don't think they would be at this level. Like I think they would still be behind what this is now.
For sure, because you can't mass produce this, without the price on this thing has climbed exponentially since I placed my order, and I think probably since you. I mean, right now, the device that I got, which is the top of the line, the Max 16 1 terabyte, is $550. I forget what I paid for it. I paid insane. For less than, and I don't think it comes with the same. It's tough to keep track of these systems, like what's been Yeah, so now they come with what UFS 3.1. Do you know what that is?
Yes, that's the memory for
The universal flash,
for the
the
system.
universal flash storage
Yeah,
has been degraded from UFS 4.0, I believe is what we had before. I'm not sure if you have that
yes,
on your device.
that is what we both have. Yeah.
And so they've had to downgrade that to UFS 3.1 just because the world has gone mad. And so they have to, cut corners and do things to reduce cost, I imagine, so these things aren't costing north of $600. So yeah, it is a powerful device that, at least up to me, it can play up to the Switch. I'm sure there's people out there doing great things to try to shoehorn in it to do cutting edge, whether they're trying to get PS3 to run, a couple frames of seconds before it craps out.
Yeah.
We see people certainly try to play the OG Xbox on these Android devices lately with some smattering of success. But I think if you play up to the Switch, you're going to be in good shape. I mean, some Switch games, just because the Eden emulator is not as mature as some of the other emulators, can be hit and miss on some of the games that you're trying to play. Of course, you need to acquire those legally. We need to just disclose that,
Yep.
so Mr. Yoshi doesn't come after me and slap me on the hands.
Yep, they're already on the way.
Yes, lights are flickering. But yeah, so it is a device. I joke with Los a lot, saying these handhelds are mating like rabbits over here behind the scenes. They're just popping up everywhere, like Etsy's, like Los's Etsy orders. Like that's how prevalent the duplication of these devices is happening right now. But if you were a sane individual, unlike myself, and you just wanted one, if you wanted to be a totally normal person and just have one of these things in your house, I think the AYN Thor might be the way to go. Would you agree?
I would agree 100%. I mean, that is something that I was going to touch on that on this episode, but I was trying to figure out a way to do it without without throwing shade at you and your family of handhelds over there.
Hey, when the world completely, it's already gone mad, but when it completely goes mad and, we have to do some trading in the middle of the night, street signs for our, handing in metal for scrap for rations. I'm going to have these devices to keep me warm. If they ever get spicy pillows, they can keep me warm, or I can, do something on the black market with them.
Yeah, it's. I'm glad you're thinking ahead like that.
Laugh now.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully we don't get to that point, but it's a possibility that you'll be all right. You'll be good.
Well, it's a retro world order. Didn't we already establish that?
Yeah, exactly. There you go. See, that's the whole. Oh man, it's full circle now. Wow. All right, so I would say that the Thor is very much the one to get if you are in the market for that and you're wise. I mean, it's more the form factor for me. As far as devices go, I think there's probably ones out there that would be able to perform better, like as far as handheld PCs go and stuff like that, but for this is in the category of retro handheld, isn't it? Like this is not really a handheld PC. This is something that primarily is being used for retro games, but hey, it could also do Steam. It could also do Switch, like there's you're getting pluses, bonuses with it for it being a retro handheld. So I think as far as it goes for retro handheld, I think this is the top one for if you're considering one.
Yeah, certainly AYN has the cutting edge stuff. So if you are not looking to get like a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally or a Lenovo, and you want something that can do retro, but also do some light Steam games via Game Native and Game Hub, and that's changing daily with all the updates for those applications. That it's pushing the envelope more and more with what PC games it can do. AYN is probably the company you want to stick with, because you either can get the Odin 3, or you can get the AYN or the AYN Thor. Those are, like, I think, at least today, I know these things are always, coming out with new things. It seems like, I mean, just today you can order the Anbernic RG Rotate. So these devices are coming out all the time. But I'd say, as far as cutting edge, bleeding edge, pushing the envelope pretty close to some of those other devices, yeah, you want to stay with the Thor or the Odin 3.
Yeah, I mean, it's something. It's a special one. Like, there's a whole bunch out there, like you just said, like, and they more or less same form factors, different shapes. I think the Thor is unique for what it could do and how it feels more complete as a handheld. Like, the clamshell design for me, that's what wins it. That is the top tier of, like, okay, this is it. This is gonna hit. It hits all the points for nostalgia, for form factor, for portability. Like, I'm not gonna stick this in my pocket. I don't. I mean, if I had cargo pants, I would.
You don't have a pocketability scale, you mean? Your channel doesn't have like, you don't have a close up on whether you can toss this in your.
Yeah, the pants shot. No, I don't have a pants shot.
Yeah,
but yeah, it's if I had a cargo shorts on or something, like, which I typically do, usually, not lately, but lately, ever since I had my issues going on, like, I've been stretchy pants mode. so I got my, like, athletic shorts.
You've been going to a stylist, is what you mean, and the stylist has said, "Hey, cargo pants, shorts are very passé at this point."
I've heard, yeah, I've heard such things, but I don't listen to that. If I have to,
long enough, if you wear them long enough, they come back in fashion.
Exactly. You got to be ahead of the trend here. You got to start things sometimes. But yeah, it's something that I feel like it is the top tier. Like, I do not have any sort of, like, ambition or, like, will to look and see for any other handhelds. Like, my initial plan was to get one of the Anbernic flips, the flippy ones, the SP ones, like the ones that you have.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna get one of those to have as, like, just every day stick in my pocket, let me have it for whenever I need it, kind of thing. But, like, at this point, like, I just don't want to take away from the Thor, because it's so perfect for me for what it could do. I'm happy with what I got, basically. I don't know.
Let's dive into that. Let's talk. You can start at the top if you want, but, like, what has been your experience like? Has it met your expectations, exceeded? I want to hear all of it. Like, what have you put on the device? Are you just running, Emulation Station, Cocoon? Have you dived into any of those other, like, the Emulation Station companion apps, MoJoiner? How deep in the weeds are you with this, or is it still early days?
I am. I got in the plane and I lifted off, and I'm currently coasting right now. Like, I'm at my desired elevation where I'm happy with what it is doing. I'm happy with where I am. There's certain tweaks that I would not mind doing here and there. I still want to try and fix the sound. I know that there's, like, some sort of, like EQ thing to download or whatever that would help boost the sound for it. I don't feel like it's horrible. Like, I haven't really played without headphones on for a long period of time, so I can't really say what the sound is like there. But but for the most part, I'm happy with how I have it set up. I got it, and I did whatever I had to do for initial setup. I went with Cocoon for the launcher. There's other ones. Isu is the other one. Is it Isu?
Not familiar with that one. I have, emulation station on mine. I've got Cocoon. I like the look and feel of Cocoon. Some games just wouldn't launch, and I just was like, why am I reinventing the wheel just to do what everybody else is doing? You go on Reddit, everybody's showing you their Cocoon front ends, and yeah, it looks nice. Yes. But at the end of the day, I need to play the games, and if I click on, the Wii U games and they're not working, it's like, well, why can't Cocoon work, but Emulation Station doesn't? I just haven't had the time to circle back to troubleshoot that.
Yeah, it's like, this is, before moving on for other stuff, saying that it reminds me, like, very much, this is this is a device that it's not for the casual everyday playing kind of person. This is very much a tinkerer's device. I say that because I set things up, I put things in there and all that, and there was something that it wasn't working. I forgot what it was. Something was not working when I clicked on it. When I went to go launch it, it went nowhere. And I had to go deep into the settings and to figure out through Cocoon that I had to get in there and change folders around because it was pointing to a different folder. It was for Super Nintendo. I had Super Nintendo. I would try to play something on Super Nintendo, and I had put all my ROMs in the Super Nintendo SNES folder.
Oh, they should be in the Super Nintendo NA North America, right?
Yeah, that's it. Well, actually, Cocoon was looking for my games in the Super Famicom.
Oh,
folder.
yeah.
So I was like, oh, that's what it is. But it took me like a good 10, 15 minutes of trying to figure out why it's not working. Like I was unplugging, I was putting the memory card in the
like that
computer,
guy.
I was going back and forth.
I'm like that guy on Waterboy right now. The Tinker's Delight. It's not working. Let me pull this apart. Let me look in this folder. Let me go to this GitHub. Go to this guy.
Yep.
And then profits.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what it's like. It's like I love that aspect of it though. Like it's fun for me. Like I enjoy doing it. I enjoy getting in there and seeing how it all connects, like all the connections that it makes beneath the hood for all the different things. I never would have been able to set this up without Russ's video, where the AYN Thor, the movie that the ultimate guide that's like 2 hours long. Like I sat there, I was like following it to a T. So that was really, really awesome that I was able to do that he put that out for everybody. But I'm about to go down that rabbit hole in a little bit. I got the Retroid Pocket 6 in here, the orange crush. I got to get that. Yes, that was a nice one. That one looked good. I love the orange. I don't know. I'm an orange guy.
I always was a dark blue person. I think if I was, buying a car right now, that would still be. I don't want an orange car, but I think I would get a blue or dark blue. I've never been in a position when I've purchased a vehicle in my life to be able to select the color. Either I've gotten something used secondhand from like a family member, or when I did want to buy, or did go to a dealership, the only thing they had on the lot was either white or black or red. So yeah, I would always like a dark blue vehicle. That's a side tangent we just went on. But as I have got older in life, I am more team orange these days. Orange is turning into my favorite color. I have various orange grips that I have purchased off Etsy for the Retroid Pocket. For the Odin Portal 2, the Odin 2. and the Ambernick 477V. I have orange grips that people have sold on their fabulous Etsy stores. So getting back to the Thor, you used Russ's setup guide, and as someone who has gone through multiple guides of his, you eventually get it all set up, and you're ready for what he likes to call profits. Was there a system did you dabble in all of them? Well, I guess back up. Did you load this thing up to the gills with games, or did you listen to my advice on the last episode where I said less is more and just put a couple of games for each system on there? Or did you have a 1 terabyte in there and load it up and it's just like, choice paralysis? Or have you settled into some games as just to sort of get used to the device and keep coming back and actually playing stuff?
Yeah, that's my mess up. I I did not listen to you. I went because I had 1 terabyte in the Steam Deck, and the Steam Deck, I discovered that for what I was doing with it, because the Steam Deck, I also inside the Steam Deck, I opened it up and I installed a 1 terabyte into there too, when I first got the Steam Deck, and then I had on top of that a 1 terabyte SD card. So my Steam Deck was loaded with stuff. But because what was taking up most of the SD card was my retro stuff, now I have the Thor for that. Like I figured, I started moving stuff around and everything, and I think my chunkiest games on the Steam Deck was Red Dead Redemption 2, which I gave up on for like the third or fourth time. So it's like I moved things around and all that, and I wound up like being able to free up the 1 terabyte card, and then I had an OLED Switch here, my Zelda OLED Switch that got retired to the shelf for decorative purposes. That still had like a 500 gigabyte in there, SD card. So I wound up just taking that and putting that in the Steam Deck, and then I gave the Thor the 1 terabyte. So
I'm like scratching myself over here, going, "Oh,
yeah,
500."
You could picture me writing this on a blackboard.
You got one of those over there? It's been a while since I've had a 500 gigabyte card. Can you spare one?
Yeah, I mean it's crazy. Like it was just like 2 weeks ago. We were in Best Buy, and my teenager was like, I need to get an SD card for my camera. And he went to go look. I was like, he started walking away. I'm like, no, you don't. He's like, why not? And he went, and they were so ridiculously expensive. He was like,
Best Buy is ridiculous. You cannot get them at Best Buy. They have no compassion for your wallet when it comes to those things. They are exorbitantly priced.
Yeah, it's insane. But I was so happy. Like I felt like I hit the lottery when I found the one in the Switch. Like I was like, oh man, that's it. It's over. I'm done. I'm good. So, but I currently have the 1 terabyte in the Thor, and then I have the Pro model, which came with 256 inside. So I think the inside storage is I think that's still the only way to play Steam games is by installing them to the inside storage. I don't think they could run off the SD card. Something I heard that from before. I don't know if it's still true. I don't know if updates happened or whatever. But yeah, it's like I was there putting stuff in there. I figured, why not? Let me just put everything in there. And just because I set up already, like I have a folder of like my core games. Like if I have a device, I know that I'll just open up this folder and then I could just move all that over. And like that'll be my go-to needed, my favorite games for every system, and it's like it's not the complete library of everything and all that stuff. So it's like it's something that I know is tried and true for me. So I have that loaded up on here, and it's a lot of choices. But at the same time, the way I have this set up, the main screen of it in Cocoon, I have it so that it is, I have all the options are there, all the folders for the different systems, but then I also have access to individual games, like my favorite ones. So it's like it's reminiscent of the 3DS where you have like all the squares there, or for all the games that you have like installed, or for whatever it is. And it's like I like the way it's set up like that. That way, if there's something that I want to focus on, like I'll just have it there on the home screen, and like I don't have to go digging through a folder. I don't have to go trying to figure out where it is in my list of 200 different Super Nintendo games. Like I put stuff on the home screen and it's perfect. Like I know that I go to it, I open it up, and I can just go right to whatever it is I want to play. So like right now on the home screen, I have Pokemon Unbound, which is the main Pokemon game that I really want to get to first for all these games, because I never played it before. And then I have like all my favorite retro ones, like my pick up and go ones, like Tetris and Picross 3D from the 3DS, Clubhouse games from the 3DS. It's Mega Man X from the Super Nintendo. Like I have all my favorites on there on the home screen. And then I also have my Steam games as well that I got everything hooked up through Game Native.
Oh, Game Native, I love it.
Yeah, Game Native, it works really good. Like I don't like it. It was like a little hang up at first, because when you have it on the home screen, like I have Vampire Survivors and Hades 2, and Mini Shoot Adventures is what I'm playing right now, which is freaking perfect on this thing. When you have it on the home screen, I don't know if that's how you have it, but when you click on Mini Shoot Adventures or any Steam game on your home screen, it doesn't take you to the game. It takes you to Game Native. Mm-hmm. So that's not something that's like preferred, but that's the way that's the way it works, due to I think Cocoon and Game Native, like there's something about them that they don't shake hands properly in the background. So you're able to get into the Game Native through the games, like through Cocoon on the home screen, but it's like it doesn't launch the games fully. You have to still get into Game Native and get to the game and all that stuff. But that's a little, it's like adding an extra step and a half maybe, but it still works great, and I still have it on the home screen, so I still love that part of it. So it's good.
Yeah, I'm trying to look now if I can't remember if I was doing it on this or the Odin 2, where I had the in Game Native you can download the, help me out with the word there, you can download like I want to say almost like a shortcut, and then you can put it in your front end and click.
Yes, yeah.
Click right into it. I don't think maybe I have that on the Portal too, and not on this system here. So I was trying to give you a comparison of how it works on Emulation Station, but I don't think I have that set up here. So I'll need.
I know I'm familiar with Emulation Station. That's what I use on the Steam Deck. So I know how that works. I know it's a really good one to use. So
yeah. So you feel like you're playing games, like that's been the biggest thing for me is, all right, I get it all set up. It's very satisfying. I like everything working. And then, all right, when does the tinkering stop and when does the actual gameplay? And I think in a future episode, we're actually going to pick a game that both of us are going to commit to playing and discuss that. We're probably not ready for that yet because we haven't discussed that behind the scenes to all the details yet. But do you find yourself like if you were on like I don't know, maybe when you're on consoles and other devices you don't play games from beginning to end anyway, so this is just a continuation of your gaming habits, but do you find yourself playing a game and saying, yeah, I'm rather than just playing a slice of the game or 10, 15 minutes in between, waiting for the kids at the bus stop or whatever, are you sitting down and like, all right, the Etsy orders are completed, the kids are tucked away, the wife has been talked to enough for the day, so now I got now I have me time. Are you picking it up and going, yeah, I need to make some headway in this game and finish it?
Definitely. That is my go-to scenario that I want to be in because as of right now, I have yet to really dig into it. I got it set up. I had everything. I took my time to set it up. It was like the initial week or two of whatever time I had that I could get in there. And like I have it ready to go, like that I could take it with me wherever, and it'll work good. It'll be able to play whatever, and I can play whatever, and everything's connected, fine. But as far as everything else goes, it's been the biggest cluster. Like I was telling you before the show, like there's like a remodeling going on in the house. We're moving everything around. On top of that, it's the Etsy stuff that I've been working on. So it's like if I wasn't doing orders, I'm trying to like make different designs to get on the Etsy shop, So it's like I have this running list in my head of all the things that I need to get done. And once I'm done with all that stuff, I'll be able to sit and relax and to be able to like, okay, I have time now, so let me go and play a game. Let me get through something. Like I have, like I said, the Pokemon Unbound, all that stuff. Like I have my list of games that I really want to play on this thing and get through. And then I'm also buying Switch games. I mean, not Switch games, Steam games. I'm buying Steam games just to be able to play on this thing, But and then that's like that's like a kick in my own ass because me being back on the Steam train, back on that, like because I went a while that I was not doing anything with Steam.
You were living a dry lifestyle, sir.
Yeah, I was all about like, Switch 2. I was all about like, doing whatever else. So it's like Steam took a back seat until I started waiting for the Thor to come in. So, I got everything updated on the Steam Deck, got everything going, started buying new games on there, started like looking forward to doing, and then I wound up buying the Steam controller, and that came in yesterday. You did? Yeah, I did. I got one.
You savage beast.
Yeah, I mean, you didn't see. I put that in I put that in my Discord. I didn't put it in the retro Discord.
All work makes for a dull boy. I don't. My schedule at work is so taxing that I very rarely can pick my head up to see much beyond my 2 feet. So I'll have to look at that. Mine comes in tomorrow. How, have you taken it out of the package? How does it feel in the hand? Have you played anything with it yet or no?
Like the Steam control, this is not sugarcoating. This is not like any sort of like, going with the hype or anything like that. It's the most comfortable controller I ever held.
Where am I looking at this? This is a very quick tangent. I go to your Discord, sir.
Yeah.
And I go, what have I stepped into? There's just all these nooks and crannies and places that I can go for content, and and I look at it and I go, it looks nothing like my Discord. How did this guy? What what level is he on that I don't even comprehend? So just quickly tell me, where am I looking at this on your Discord?
Okay, so this I think this goes this goes hand in hand with my customizing bedazzling side.
Thank you. I didn't want to call that out, but thank you. Christ. We just can't have anything just like out of the box, fresh and new.
No, I can't. I am very anti-stock. I can't do it. But so like what I'm thinking. Okay, so when you're looking at
this is how bad it is. You can't even just tell me in 2 seconds. Go there.
Okay. All right. Look, so you're looking at the Discord. You got the shout box. That is the main.
Yes,
that's the main chatting, right? That's the main part. So for anything gaming, you have to go to the gaming hole.
I am there.
So the gaming hole, it's very. I have it set up. My Discord is set up very much like an old forum, you know.
Yes.
So the gaming hole would be like your category, and then in there's all the gaming. So there you have Steam Gamers Anonymous. So that's where you got the Steam stuff. So that's where I put the pictures for and I was talking about the Steam controller.
So I have this huge television that maybe this is my own problem, and I'm not sure what people see on. This is really a tangent. So when I am on, the gaming hole to gaming general, now gaming general is all the way over on the right hand side, and like somewhat of a. I guess I can.
Yeah.
I got to click. Yeah. I got to expand it. How do you pop that out so that's just taking up the full screen?
So there's the 3 little dots on the top corner.
I see
next to the X and open in full view. There we go. Yeah, it's annoying for me too. I get that. Yeah.
All right. I will look at this at my own time then and see your thoughts on the controller. I assume this is where I'm looking to see your thoughts.
That's where I put my thoughts. Yeah, but I like honestly like it is like they took my hand size. And they were like, "What is the controller we could fit Los's hands in perfectly?" And it's like it's very much like you hear it all the time. I'm sure you watch the videos or whatever, but it is very much like the Steam Deck controls just without the screen. Like if you love the Steam Deck and the form fitting of how it feels in your hands, then the Steam controller is for you. And it's perfect. It fits perfect in there. And the back, a lot of people complained about the back buttons, that they're easy to push. But for me, they're like the same as a Steam Deck, like you have to give a nice amount of like pressure in order to get it to click. And the back buttons are the only clicky buttons. That's another thing that I love about it. It's very quiet. It's a very quiet controller. Where whenever I have my Steam Deck docked on the TV, I always use an Xbox controller. And Xbox, while it's the more comfortable out of the regular controllers, I never liked using it because it's so loud. Like the buttons, the shoulder buttons are so clicky. The D-pad is clicky, like I'm not a fan of that. So it's like the Steam controller is nice and quiet. It's, it's very, very easy to hold and very easy. Like it's got me to the point where it's like, okay, now I have options for Steam. I have what do I want to do? Do I want to play on the Thor or do I want to play on the TV with the Steam controller, So it's like I'm head like deep into options here for playing on Steam games now.
Wow. We'll have to do a whole nother show on the Steam controller. Mine does. I want to know how I placed my order ahead of time by like a couple minutes, and I still don't have it.
Yes, me too. Like I was there. Like I set an alarm for 5 minutes before.
Same.
And I sat there. I was there at the screen for like the controller, and I think it was what was it? It was at 1 o'clock, right? So I think it was like at 12:58 that I refreshed it and it was available for buying. And I was like, oh shit. And then I went and it was the most seamless, easiest thing to buy. And then I started hearing all these horror stories. I'm like, what the hell's going on? Like, how did I get in there? And it was like so easy. Like, did you load up your wallet first?
No. I have okay. For some reason I should probably have, do something about this, but I have other things loaded that made it easier.
Yeah, I had like the day before I had loaded up 120 into my Steam wallet because I heard that was like the easier way to do it from the Steam Deck horror stories from when that launched.
Oh no, Valve and my bank are very simpatico. They the transactions are almost hourly, daily if not hourly at this point. That there's no like, this guy again at this place. All right, yeah. And there's none of those horror stories where you click the button and then your bank declined it because they're not familiar with who the hell Valve is. This guy in a boat out in the ocean, collecting all this money. So yeah.
But yeah, it is very much worth it if you play Steam, if you're into anything like that, whether you're docking the Steam Deck or you're playing on a PC or whatever, the Steam controller is like top tier, top notch. Like I'm very excited to get into games. Like I know now, like I had to set up a structure for myself. Like I like finally like wrote in cement like what it is I'm doing, keeping PlayStation or PlayStation exclusives, and the same thing for Switch exclusives, and for like indie games and stuff like that. I'm gonna be sticking to Steam and going that route, and if I want something physical, then I'm gonna do it for the Switch and have a physical copy of whatever it is. Like I have Hollow Knight. I bought a Silk Song on Steam, but as soon as it's available for physical, I'm gonna get myself a Switch copy so I could put it next to the first Hollow Knight that I have here. Like because I'm still very much into physical collecting and all that stuff. So,
well, let's bring it back to the AYN Thor for a second here and tie in the Switch controller. Since I don't have one yet, and I understand that the Switch controller is also Bluetooth capable.
It's the Steam controller.
Steam controller. What did I say?
Switch controller.
Switch controller.
Yeah.
Getting old sucks.
I know.
So the Steam controller is Bluetooth compatible. Like what I mean by that is you don't need to use the puck that comes with the Steam controller. You don't need if you don't want to do that, you don't like the way that, you can also connect via Bluetooth. What I haven't dug into yet, and maybe you have, can the Steam controller connect to other devices via Bluetooth? So if you want to use the Steam controller on your Thor via Bluetooth, could you do that?
I think so. I say only think because I think I heard somebody else doing that already. I'm pretty sure that somebody did that to play Steam games. I know you cannot use a Steam controller for like other things. Like
Xbox
Steam controller
or PlayStation. It's not going to work for not going to work for those. But I think where you can pair a device, will it work?
I'm pretty sure you could pair it to the Thor and play your Steam games on there. I think that's how you're able to do it. Because I think that there's something like, even if you're like Game Pass on PC, I don't think you can use the Steam controller to play Game Pass games on your PC. I think it has to be through Steam,
or you have to use.
Work.
Yeah, I mean, in listening to like the Nerd Nest podcast and some other things, there's some other programs you could use, like Scissor or something, to potentially get around that. I think put the Steam controller aside for a minute. I think that the PC Game Pass has issues with a lot of controllers that are not Xbox. Like even if you try to use your DualSense with games on PC Game Pass, it just doesn't work. It doesn't give you an error like, hey, you're trying to connect a Sony product. How dare you hang your head in shame? It just doesn't do anything. It just doesn't work. So that is not like what I'm trying to say is that is not a Valve Sony problem. That is a Microsoft problem that they need to solve, specifically when they go to Project Helix and they release that, and they're supposed to be this open-ended, they haven't revealed the whole thing, so I'm not going to hold them to this, but what has been leaked out there and supposedly you're supposed to read between the lines, it's this more open-ended system. It's going to be awkward if you have Steam installed on that, but they force you to use a Microsoft controller.
Yeah. There's a lot of things that they need to be getting there in order over there on that side. It seems like they're doing something. So I'm hoping that they figure something out that benefits everybody.
So let's try to wrap this up here in a few minutes. Getting close to an hour. Back to the AYN Thor. It sounds like you're very happy with the purchase. What's next for you in your journey with the device? And you said, you got a lot of things going on at home, and then you're eventually going to settle down and play it. But is there, once you get to that point, is just playing what you hope to do next, or are there other things that you have, sort of made a checklist like, hey, I want to go check out these apps? Like for me, someone who is a little older I have downloaded like the DS keyboard, right? I have Mo Joiner, so I can join, when I launch that, I can have like things launch on the same, at the top and bottom of how I want to do that. I also think I have to look here, but I think I downloaded some sort of magnifying glass thing.
Oh, I think I heard about that, yeah.
Pocket DS, something or other. Have you done any of these game guides things? Game Twin? A whole bunch of other.
I do.
Like, again, to use Russ's words, a cottage industry of things on Etsy. There's a cottage industry of apps on GitHub now for the Thor. Have you dabbled in any of those?
I haven't. The only thing that I do have here is I have the guide one that was recommended a lot. That it runs a guide on the bottom screen, so that it's easier to follow along as you're playing on the top screen. That seemed like it was very handy. I have that going here. As far as like other things go, let me see. There's not really other apps and stuff that I've been looking at. Like I'm trying to not get sucked into getting everything going. I know that there is the Pico 8. I still have to buy Pico 8.
Yep.
I never bought that because it always came baked into whatever thing that I was using, whatever system I was using for my Ambernic devices. So it was like already there. But you have to buy it in order to use it here on the Thor.
Well, yeah,
so I still have to do that.
You have to buy it. Even on some of these other Linux devices now, you have to buy it if you want to not use the fake '08 emulator and you want to run it like natively. You still got to get that like Pico 8 DAT and some other file out of the Raspberry Pi, extraction that once you buy it. But yes, there's a different way to install it on Android devices versus Linux. Linux, you just need like 2 or 3 files. On this here, you need the whole, like almost, once you extracted this, I don't know if it's an executable or something like that you have to copy into a specific place. Yeah. But it's well worth it then you can just, hold down like a long hold on Pico 8 and then say, just always open it in the bottom screen. Right.
Yes. Yeah.
I think that one of the last things I want to talk about is, have you taken advantage yet of the dual screen? Like, have you played any like DS, 3DS games? Because that's what people sort of gravitate towards immediately. Mm-hmm. And then what my favorite thing to do is play a game on the top something that I know like the back of my hand, that I don't need to listen to the audio so much, and then have YouTube down below, and I'm catching up on my shows, that way. Have you done anything like that yet?
I have not. I have not done that yet. I'm still fresh on it. Like I haven't reached that level yet of splitting my mind and my eyes and getting two things going at once. My time has been limited. So it's like whenever I jump on, I want to focus on something, but I'm sure the time will come where I do that. So it's there. I created my own little icons for the dock. Like I figured out how to do that. I think that's a separate app. So I was messing with that around. I'm messing around with that. But I am
completely slack-jawed here. I mean, that's just completely blowing me away that you would do something like that.
Yeah, I know. It's so not me. But
you'll have to send me the info on that. I have not dabbled in that.
Yeah, it's like they say, I have the app right here. It's Alembicons.
Oh, it just rolls right out of the tongue. I mean,
yeah, I know. Yeah,
how do I not have that installed already?
Oh, I don't know. It's something. There's something. I forgot where it was. I know where to find it. I know how to get to it. But it's like some sort of app from Android. It's called Alembicons, and you're able to change the icons for stuff.
Yeah.
So like you could have different sorts of images for like settings for whatever app you have on your device. You could change what it looks like, the icon. So I saw that people were using that to give themselves the 3DS icons. If you think back, you remember what they look like. They're very similar to the Wii U icons as well. Like they have a similar look to it. So I was like, I was wanting to do that, but there was something up with all the ones that I found, because there's people that have the icons ready to go for like to make it look like the 3DS, to make it look like the Wii U. But my bottom screen, I was being very specific. I wanted it to be just like all black because it's an OLED screen. So it's like I wanted it all black. I want everything to just look like it's just floating there. And whatever I found, it had some sort of a black background, like a grayed out background. So it wasn't perfectly there. So I was like, okay, can't find something, let me do it myself. And like I went and I found out like what I wanted it to look like. So I made my own icons. Like I traced them from some DS icons, and like I made like other ones, so it's like now I have like specific icons that like are like perfectly like just floating there with no background. And everything looks good, and I am very much on par with my brand of bedazzling and doing things like that. To your surprise, when I don't know if you remember the 3DS, when it was out, I don't know if you were into it, but there was something called Badge Arcade.
Mm-hmm.
Are you familiar?
No.
Okay.
I'm looking at. Keep continuing. I will research. So
you maybe you think of me a certain way. You're about to think of me a whole other way right now.
Oh no.
But I used to spend money because it was like a paid thing, right? You get like a certain amount of. It was legit gambling on the 3DS for kids. So you got like a few free turns every day. But the Badge Arcade was basically like, the claw machines from arcades.
Mm-hmm.
So you go into this claw machine and you could pick up stickers, like little sticker things, like little pixel stickers that you are able to keep, and you could customize the home screen of your 3DS. So you could get your free turns for the day, but the types of stickers that were there, they changed every single day. So there was like, sets of Pokemon and Zelda and all this stuff that you could collect them all. And I may or may not have spent like actual real world money, like a lot of it, trying to collect these dumb little stickers for my home screen. But like what I'm getting at is that I'm thinking I'm going to try and recreate that at some point, like to make some sort of like, stickers like that, pixelized stickers that will be able to use this app for the icons, and then you could decorate your home screen on the Thor with it and come out with that and put that out there for people.
Oh wow.
But that is like down the line when I have nothing to do because as of right now I don't even have time to game on this thing. So when I get to the point where I'm like, okay, let me see if I could do something, I'll do it. But as of right now, I'm just waiting for my time to be a little more free so I could dig into some games and have some fun and do all that. And everything is just here staring at me. I got at least a good 10 or so games that I really want to play on this thing. So I'm looking forward to getting into those and then finding another 10 that I really want to get into.
So as you've been talking, I've been looking at this badge arcade, and now I have gone down a rabbit hole of something called Pretendo.
Pretendo? I have not heard of that.
Pretendo is an open source Nintendo network replacement that aims to build custom servers for the Wii U and 3DS family of consoles. Our goal is to preserve the online functionality of these consoles to allow players to continue to play their favorite Wii U and 3DS games to their fullest capacity. And I think so they're going to bring elements of Badge Arcade to this Pretendo.
That's dangerous.
It is dangerous.
That is dangerous. But so like I've been talking a lot about Thor. You have the Thor 2.
I do.
So what, like, do you want to like bring up anything on your thoughts of the device? Like, what are you doing with it? I know you have other devices that you have to also show your love to because you can neglect them and all that. So,
right.
But like, what have you done with the Thor since you've had it? You've had it before I even ordered it. So, right. What have you been doing?
So I'm not all crazy like you. I just sort of open it up and pop in when I'm ready to play games. I just go into Emulation Station. I only have a 32 gigabyte card on here. Mm-hmm. So I have a lean selection of games, and I really have developed a crippling addiction to shmups. So I play a lot of those games and Pico 8 while I am watching stuff on YouTube on the device. That is the main thing I am doing right now. At some point, I need to rid myself of that habit and actually try to play something from A to Z. I haven't settled on what game, and I think when I do that, I need to pop the card out and readjust what's on here to play. But in early days, I was trying to mimic what I was seeing on Reddit. So I downloaded Emulation Station Companion so I could have a nice pleasing image down on the bottom screen while I'm playing something up on the top. Or I'd have, that mode joiner, so you just click on that so that knows to open up both of those Emulation Station apps at the same time. So you don't have, it just saves yourself an extra click. So early days, I was dabbling in those types of apps just because I was parroting what I was seeing on Reddit. But I've sort of just settled into my own routine where, I got 45 minutes. I haven't finished watching Digital Foundry yet. I want to play some, mindless shmups and just turn my brain off. That's kind of the routine I have settled into the device at this particular time. I have the white one with the TPU shell. I don't have any, sort of customizations or anything like that on there. I think it would, if this was a Nintendo or some other company, they would be selling shells that you could plop on. I would think that would be a good revenue stream for them. The TPU shell goes on pretty easily, and I could envision some other people selling those, to swap out at your whim. I'm sure there's someone already doing that.
They do, yeah. There's some Etsy that have there's skins, there's like the stickers, But then there's also people who 3D print exactly what you said, like that they snap on to
Yep.
the thing, and it makes it more customized like that.
To me, it feels like a very premium device in my hand, and I try to treat it with such respect that I don't carry this thing around with me. Not that I go a lot of places. I just went on vacation with the family to North Carolina. I did not bring it with me. I did not want to get it bumped around in the car, left in the car, fall out of a bag. I see lots of people on Reddit. They're by the beach. They're taking it, anywhere and everywhere. And
Yeah.
that's fine. That's your money. Do what you want. I just, not that I don't have the money, but I would not spend if I dropped it, I would not spend the money to go out and buy a new one. You know what I mean? So I do try to treat it with some sort of reverence down here in my office on the recliner, kicking back and enjoying it that way when I just sort of want to tune out. It does really feel like out of all the devices I have, like this and the Odin 2 are the best of the bunch as far as, power, performance, elegance, the feel in the hand. Everything is top tier for me that I'm like, wow, this is, a cut above all the Ambernicks and all the other stuff that I've acquired.
Yeah, definitely.
And the screen, I think the only thing, there's nothing I don't think they can do about it, but I was expecting a full screen. Right, and I think in the early days, I texted you and saying, "Hey, what's going on with these bars on the right and left side?"
Okay.
And that's just because the curve of the screen, I guess. And so, like, there's a screen in the middle, if you think about it, and then it must just be like, I'm not saying it's black plastic, but it can't go all the way to the edges to like the curve, right? It's a square inside of a curved looking screen. So there are some black bezels on either side. You're seeing that too, right? No matter what you're buying?
Actually,
Uh-huh.
this is why, because this, I think I said I initially bought the rainbow one, the rainbow color scheme, which is like a gray kind of beige,
Yep.
older looking type of white. So that's what that is. But I changed it to the black, and it was for this reason, was for the bottom screen. So,
well, I'm talking about the top. I'm talking about the top one.
Oh, the top screen. I thought you were talking about the bottom one.
The top one, like,
because the bottom one has the black bars as well, like for when you're playing a certain game or whatever.
Yes, the top one, yeah, the top one does too. Yeah, I get what you're saying. If you have the black down the bottom and you got the black bars, it kind of looks like you said. I'm quoting you here, just floating there, right? But even when you have it at the top, like I have the same Thor background that comes with it. I didn't change the background to a different image.
Yeah.
And you can see the black bars on both sides.
Okay. So maybe that is also something that is a benefit for the black model, because I don't notice the black bars.
Yeah,
there.
It stands out more for me because I have the white version. So eventually the black bleeds into the white, and then it pops out more.
Yeah, because I haven't, something like that would irk me. So like I haven't really noticed it, from like I said, it's the same as the bottom screen. Like the black blends in with the surrounding black. So it's something that I haven't really noticed, but I get you though. I understand what you're saying.
I was just hand delivered a package here, Los. Let me
Is it another handheld? Tell me it's another handheld.
No. This might be the Steam controller a day early.
Ah, nice. Did we get a live unboxing? Holy crap!
I don't know. I'm looking for something that says like Valve on it. It doesn't. Maybe they have hid the packaging.
No, it is a box within a box. So if you open it up,
assembled in China.
If there is a big battery symbol on it, then it is your Steam controller.
Yep, there's a big, yep. Oh, yeah, it says right on the side here, Valve Corporation. That's what it is. Yep.
Jeez. So are we gonna open it, or are you gonna be more intimate on your own? Okay, I understand.
I got a tight schedule here, so I don't want to. I don't want to hold up the listeners, and we got to hold some content back. To the starving, the millions and millions out there that are listening. Can't give them everything on episode 1. Jeez.
I know, right? Well, I look forward to your thoughts. I'm glad you got it.
Now I know where to post it.
There you go.
I have it bookmarked. But to circle back to the Thor, something funny last night that I will leave you people with. I was playing in the bedroom, and this is what happens when you get old, or maybe just batshit crazy like myself. I'm hearing this like hissing noise in my bedroom, right? And I'm walking around with the Thor, and I'm trying to, I'm going up to like the heater. Is it like coming out of the fan? Is like my electrical outlet where is this hissing noise coming from? I can't. The friggin' fan on the Thor. I'm walking around going, it's following me. Where? Eventually, I'm oh my god, it's the fucking. That's when I knew. That's when I knew it was time to turn it off and go to bed. I was like, my brain is cooked for the day. I am done.
It does talking to you.
It does ramp up, when you play some of these native games, and so you scroll down on the top screen, and it pulls up the Android menu, and then you can go into performance, and forget about it. High performance, you might as well feel like you're playing a PS4 again, right? But you can switch between standard performance and high performance there. Have you, real quickly, I am afraid to ask this question, but I will leave it with this. What is your joystick LED? Do you have it, first of all, do you have it on or off? And if I am sure as shit you probably have it on unless you feel like it affects the black. If you do have it on, is there a color scheme that you have settled on?
I have it on orange right now, so it's on orange. I feel like it goes with my color, my icons and stuff. For the whole setup of it, I had it set up like Portal. So it was like one was blue and one was orange, and I really liked how it looked. It looked really cool. Yeah, it's. I like them. I like the lights. I don't turn them off. Like it's very cool to see. Like it adds to the modern, like updated look to it. Like I feel like I don't have other PC type devices that have lights. So like I'm finally seeing what it's like to have lights on something. So I'm spoiled.
Well, we'll leave it at that. Los is spoiled. We can't top that. He's got to get back to his booming Etsy business. For all you listeners that cross pollinate from his sticker and bookmark and now Thor business. do you slip in a business card like, hey, check me out here to your podcast?
I do. Like that? I do. Every order I put a business card, and I was actually for my Thor skins. Well, I haven't sent any out yet.
Let's make sure we pronounce that very clearly as you go forward with that.
My Thor skins. It probably cut out at the perfect time. So, but for those, I haven't sent any out yet. I'm like I said, very behind. But when I start sending them out, I'm gonna make a little sticker for Retro World Order, and I'm going to throw it in there.
Nice.
Because like every order, I put in a few freebie stickers, like little tiny, like I change them every month. So I put in like a little freebie in there. So that's going to be my freebie for my Thor skins, and I think it's going to be. You need
to do some sort of play on words with Thor skins, and that PG, please. But.
Oh man, that caught me. I was like, "Well, you talking? Oh, I know what you're saying." Okay, all right,
all right. We'll leave you with that. Thanks everyone for listening. Again, this is Retro World Order. He's Los. I'm Mike. We'll catch you next time. See you later.
Perfect. Peace out. Thank you very much.